Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Sunless Skies. We're on the main menu because I asked in the last episode whether people wanted to see the new start that is in the survival update. A few people said yes, so I figured we might as well have a look. I don't really know what's going to have changed. I quickly read through the patch notes and it says there's a lot of things that have changed. But the opening to the game should be quite interesting, so I've also been warned that this screen is going to have text on it and it's going to go back really quick. So let's have a look. Legacy campaign, not that it matters, this is a temporary thing. I'm going to continue with my normal captain after this. Log of Her Majesty's Locomotive, the Orphean, March 14th, 1905. Our expedition to the domains of the dead have been eventful. The Orphean is damaged and in grievous need of repairs and supplies. We are returning in haste to the Reach, where I hope to make New Winchester. May God be with us, for 1,000 deaths wait in the sky. Final entry of Captain Amelia, Charity, Whitlock. That's how quick that goes. Just pause the video. I didn't have that. I didn't have that luxury. Ooh, the Blue Kingdom transit relay. We are buggered. Look at how tiny this ship is. Oh, it's been such a long time. Okay. You have returned to the Reach, an untamed, sunless span of heavens. London's new frontier, a celestial garden run wild. I assume it's the same map. Yeah, it's gotta be, right? I don't want to go explore, but I'm guessing it wants me to go that way. And I don't have much food or fuel, so yeah, let's do what it wants me to do as opposed to bugger off. Wow, look at this. I don't think I've actually seen this in the main game. Your journey back from the Blue Kingdom was tumultuous. The locomotive is crippled and Captain Whitlock is badly wounded. I've never been to the Blue Kingdom. As first officer, the crew look to you. The nearest station is New Winchester. Can you get the Orphean there safely? I hope so. It's better than the original tutorial, that's for sure. Ooh, stuff. Much to the relief of your stokers, you find a barrel of fuel among the detritus. A wreck drifts here, less fortunate even than you. We should scavenge here for repairs, a crewman suggests. Ooh, the Ozymandias. Bloody hell, these names. The wreck of the Ozymandias. The wreck hangs in the sky, pocketed with recent gunfire. You and the boarding party don't don your sky suits, garments of waxed canvas lined with felt to protect against the cold of the sky. Two of the crew are whispering as they dress. What business did Captain Whitlock have in the Blue Kingdom anyway? Why the devil did we trespass on the districts of the dead? You silence him. Now's not the time. Leap across to the wreck. The gap between the two engines isn't wide, but the endless fathoms of heaven gape beneath it. Leading the way. You jump. Your stomach lurches with vertigo as the stars blaze above you and below. The air of the heavens is thin and torn by unpredictable winds. Then your boots hit the running board of the Ozymandias, and your leather-gloved hands fumble for a hold. One of your companions throws you a line, and you lash the two engines together. Only then do the rest of the boarding party follow you. One of them forces open an exterior hatch, and you clamber inside. Ooh. Her interior is cold, unlit and whistles with wind. Your party's lamps spread buttery light over the narrow, panelled passages. You make your way towards the hold, stepping over bodies crumpled in the corridor. Unfortunately, your way is blocked. A bulkhead has been mangled inward by a well-aimed barrage. So we can clear the obstruction away. You locate a length of pipe to use as a pry bar and set to work. Or you can take a more precarious path. Go back out onto the Ozymandias' hull, climb past the blockage and enter through a window on the far side, and do so carefully. So Veils is the skill of deceiving and evading, and this will test your iron skill confronting and overcoming. I'm guessing both of these are 75%. I mean, I know what Dr. Singh would do. He'd hit it with a hammer. But let's go a more precarious path. We'll bypass the problem. The rest of the boarding party follow you without enthusiasm. You recall the first time you climbed outside an engine, helping the captain fix a leak in an exterior pipe. The wind had shrieked, buffeting at you. You asked the captain what would happen if you slip. You fall, she answered tersely. But where to, you asked. She looked down, then up, then back. The sky's depths spiraled all about you. Away, she said. And you heard her fear. Back in the present, you tumble back into the Ozymandias through a shattered window. Your party spill in after you, glad to be back inside. You have reached... I'm getting sick of saying Ozymandias. You have reached the Ozymandias' hull, a ruin of smashed cargo and spilled supplies. Hopefully somewhere amidst the detritus you can find parts to repair the Orphean and restock your stores. Conduct a thorough search. Your companions work quickly. The Ozymandias' hull has begun to creak. Your actions on board may have compromised its integrity. Technically we're on the outside of the ship, but... Ooh. You find enough food and gear to restock your supplies, and enough spare parts to make necessary repairs to the Orphean. The food will need to be thoroughly thawed, of course, but you've eaten worse in the skies. "Oh ho!" cries one of your party, prying the lid off a long crate. It holds a cannon, still nestled in straw. Another crewman pulls a battered bird cage from a pile of ruined cargo. Within the cage, something winged and furred opens a sullen eye. You examine your finds. So we repaired the ship a little bit and we gained some supplies. The Ozymandias emits a long, juddering creak. Your boarding party exchanges nervous glances. From the chaos of its hold you have retrieved repairs and supplies, and discovered some useful equipment. A gun that could be mounted to your locomotive, and an educated bat. Not the bloody bat. Okay, so... is it one or the other, or both? I'm guessing it's both. Yeah, we'll mount the Jerusalem cannon on the Orphean. Her own weapons were damaged during your fight from the Blue Kingdom. That leaves you vulnerable. The Cotterell and Hathersage Jerusalem fires single shells to a good range, more or less accurately. You order 2 of your party to get back to your vessel and fit it immediately. The Ozymandias groans again. The structure shudders, spasmodically. These words. We're going to take the bat. Of course we're going to take the bat. The heavens are wide, so locomotives use scouts, like bats, to locate things of interest. Ports, resources, wrecks, like this one, to scavenge. Even though I hate this bat, I've never been able to replace him. The bat treats its rescue as an inconvenience, and immediately begins haggling over pay. You offer to put it back in its damn cage and leave it on the Ozymandias, at which point it becomes more polite. You doubt it will last. Should have left him in his damn cage. Ah, that's fun. Press on to the engine room. You might find more fuel here. There, but you better hurry. The Ozymandias is beginning to tear apart. Yeah, let's go to the engine room. Oh dear. The wreck of the Ozymandias screeches as its metal buckles and tears. You press on through the shuddering corridors, searching frantically for the engine room. 49 and 49. Okay, send a smaller party ahead to retrieve fuel. It's foolish for all of you to go. Send your quickest and lightest to retrieve the fuel, while the rest of you return to the Orpheon, including myself. That is the skill of convincing and enduring. Go yourself and conduct a hasty search. Send the rest of the boarding party back to the Ozymandias. Go on alone. Mirrors is the skill of investigating and deducing. I think we'll go ourselves. Conduct a hasty search. Thank God. In the nick of time, the wreck's engines are choked with old ash. You search swiftly, aware of every creak in the bulkhead, every tremble that runs through the dead locomotive. Finding several sacks of coal, you drag them to an exterior hatch and fling them across to the Orpheon before leaping after them. Unshackling your locomotive from the Ozymandias, you stoke your engines and steam away. Restocked, refueled, repaired, and rearmed. Awesome. That's a good way to introduce people to these things. The captain's condition is worsening. Oh dear. Okay. Summoned by Captain Whitlock. The walls of the captain's cabin are lined with a hodgepodge of curios from across the sky. A chunk of black permafrost from Old Tom's Well, a knot of fossilized Hybrian fungus, 2 spines from a scorn flute mounted on the wall, crossed like swords. Captain Whitlock lies in bed. Black marks cover her skin like monstrous brand. When she coughs, coils of acrid smoke pour from her lungs. How the hell did that happen? Approach the bedside. Inquire after the captain's injuries? The brand. A word of living fire. Pursued the Orpheon across the Blue Kingdom. It caught you just before you passed through the transit relay to the Reach, and set its brand upon the captain. It's burned itself right through her, the doctor whispers. When I closed the worst of her wounds, I could see the sign is searing into her bones and her organs. Judging from her symptoms, it's on the inside of her lungs too. The captain leans to one side and vomits a plume of fire into a copper bowl. There's nothing the doctor can do. Okay, let's approach the bedside. The captain opens her eyes as you draw near. She attempts to smile. Her mouth is blistered from the blue fires that dance on her tongue. Her hand grips your arm. Her skin is as hot as a kettle. Made arrangements. The Orpheon will be yours. Her voice is just a rasp of burnt meat breath. Oof. But promise. She breaks off to scream a word in a language that was not made for human mouths. When she resumes speaking English, she is weaker. A request a little more than a gasp. Promise me one last service. Promise. Promise you will obey her last command, whatever it is, you'll see it done. Make no promise, tell her to rest. She will need her strength. There's a hospital in New Winchester, they can help her. Pull away, what if her condition is contagious? Demand to know why she took the Orpheon to the Blue Kingdom. It was a folly to visit one of the lands of the dead. Now you're all paying the price. I mean, I've got to promise to obey her last command, right? Even though this one kind of interests me. Demand to know why she went to the Blue Kingdom. Let's do that one. She laughs. A sound like wood snapping on the fire. Ash sprays from her mouth. It was worth it, she swears. Her voice is suddenly firm, her eyes hard and bright. Then she sinks back into the scorched pillows and a twisting, frantic fever. Oh. I kind of hoped I could obey the command. Take your leave. You leave the cabin and the scorched stink of its air behind and return to the bridge. New Winchester is further than you'd like, and the captain hasn't long left. Oop, hung there for a second. Oh dear! Ooh. Barricades. Haven't seen those before. think I've only got one go. Have they changed the fire effects? Like the sound? Then again, I haven't fired a Jerusalem cannon for a long time. Yeah. Perfect. Is this going to be a unique interaction, or is this just going to be Marauder? Ah, the Reach Marauder is defeated. You approach the buckled wreckage, poised to plunder the plunderers. Behind you, someone is humming a song of victory. The boarding party returns with wallets and watches, cufflinks, lockets, and keepsakes. You store them in a safe to be pawned if you make it back to the port. That text seems different. I don't know where New Winchester is in relation to this, where we are. I have a feeling there's not going to be much more left, but it might end up being just a short little episode. But it's very well written. It's much better than the I remember when I first started playing, there was literally just a storylet that just was like, this is how you do this, this is how you do this, this is how you do this. Which was good. It told you what to do. This is much more interactive, though. I like it. I just hope I'm going the right bloody way. This ship seems so tiny. Oh. One of these days, I will start a new game. It's probably going to be when the game is released. I'll be honest. But, like I say, I'm not really ready to give up Dr. Singh just yet. There's a lot of things I still want to do. I still haven't explored the Reach. So don't worry, he's not going anywhere. So we should still see some of the things from those episodes. This is just going to be a little one-off. Just seeing all of the new stuff. I mean, the new Winchester is apparently twice the size it was before. I've got no idea where I'm going. Wispy condensation trails cross the sky. The ghosts of passing trains. Wait, is this it? The greatest port in the Reach, fought over by independent tacketies and the London loyalists' stovepipes. This is New Winchester. Bloody hell, it looks nothing like New Winchester. Like, to what I know. Am I going to have to re-find this in my save game? What's this? Oh, Victory Hall. Also, Victory Hall is a separate place now. Used to just be a option in the storylet. That's where the stovepipes are. There's the Blue Kingdom Transit Relay right next to the Reach. Blimey. I mean, when they release that DLC, I'll be ready to go then. I guess we'll dock. I mean, we've got 20 minutes or so, but still a bit more to read, I imagine. Arrival at New Winchester. You coast into the bustle and din, the soot and the steam of Wolvesey Station. It is clogged with other engines, scrappy mining locomotives from Lustrum Way, weathered explorers gleaming with frost, sleek company vessels with bright brass fittings. No sooner have you pulled into the slidings than a brusque station master bustles over. He requests to come aboard. I must speak with your captain, he insists, brandishing a ledger. The usual formalities. Look to the Orphean's doctor. He has just appeared at your shoulder. His face is solemn. His hat is in his hands. He lowers his eyes. The passing. The crew exchange bleak, wordless looks. The Orphean itself feels suddenly more empty. The station master looks confused. You inform him that unfortunately, Captain Whitlock has just passed. Ah, he says neutrally. Sorry to hear that. Very sad, very sad. He waits from what he considers an appropriate minute and a half before continuing. Alas, amidst tragedy, the cogs of bureaucracy must turn. If Captain Whitlock is deceased, the station authority require their answers from the first officer. He dons a set of spectacles and locates his pen. It'll be relatively painless. Name, background, purpose of visit, etc. Shall we begin? I'm guessing this is just going to be the character creation. Which I won't do, I don't think. I think this is the end of the new thing. So I guess I'll end it here. I mean, I can just make a random captain. It's not going to matter, I suppose. Let's have a quick look. I won't bother reading too much. Let's be a priest who's Bright Eyes Sequencer. Mirrors. No, I still haven't finished the bloody Song of the Sky. Let's do wealth. Is there any new customization options? Let's not be a clayman. That'll do. Can we get rid of the hat? No hat. Temporarily no hat. There we go, right. Look at the nose on that one. So we find out that all of my... Yeah, we'll be a lady. We'll be a lady. That's a chin. Wow. Yeah, that's fine. We'll be a lady. Do we need a hat? We need a hat. Yeah, we go. My lady. My Lady Murphy. Yeah, that'll do. Continue. Just in case there's more story after this. Start game. Might just continue with the normal. You were in Chester. I did read in the patch notes that it's going to be longer when the game is fully released. But I don't know. Here we go. The reading of the will. 3 weeks have passed. This morning, Captain Whitlock received a simple memorial service. Her body was consigned to the necropolis train bound for the Serene Mausoleum. Now you sit with a handful of her relatives in threadbare offices of her solicitors. A methodical notary is reading the will. The captain was wealthy once, but squandered her capital on mysterious expenses before her expedition to the Blue Kingdom. Listen to the end. The captain's relatives, from whom she was mostly estranged, are clearly wondering why you are here. In final codicil, the notary announces, Captain Whitlock confirmed the possessions of the Orpheum was to pass to its first officer. He peers at you with dry, grey eyes. This includes a certain black box contained in the Orpheum's hold. Captain Whitlock's final request was that at the time of your choosing, you transport said box to an address in London. He hands you an address card and deposit it there along with this. He slides a stiff envelope towards you. It contains a key. She gave no explanation. And that's it. You're a captain. Now, the Orpheum is yours. You've been bequeathed a large black box which once belonged to Captain Whitlock. You've gained 100 sovereigns. Wow. I guess that's it, but we've got a black box. I mean, as much as I would love to be like, right, we're going to Albion, to London, I don't think that's going to be outside the scope of this episode. But on the plus side, we did get to see that wonderful narrative. That was a really nice introduction to the game. Instead of just being like, bang, you're here, W to go forward. Like, the story. Captain Whitlock, you have a predecessor. It's very nice indeed. And at some point, I will start again and we will do the whole thing. There'll probably be the Blue Kingdom the game releases. It's 3 months till the game comes out, which is scary. For me, I've been doing this now for most of the updates. So, I've played a lot of Sunless Skies. But, do you know what? I'm going to end it here. It's a slightly shorter episode than normal, but... And I know some of you don't want to see this, some of you don't care. You've probably done it yourself. But for the people who do want to see it, here you go. And thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, comment, let me know what you think of this intro. It's definitely different. A lot more narrative. And, as always, I'll see you next time.